Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. Here's a recap of our top stories from the week. One person is dead and others seriously injured after a multi-vehicle accident on 180 eastbound in Denison Township Sunday night. Pennsylvania State Police say a car traveling near mile marker 265.8 left the roadway and hit the car parked on the right shoulder. The first car was sent back into the road from the impact and into the path of a tractor-trailer. Ahmad Quaddock Allen, the driver of the car parked on the shoulder, died from his injuries. Other victims were transported from the scene with serious injuries. All lanes eastbound between PA 309 Hazleton/Mountaintop exit 262 and Whitehaven/Freeland exit 273 were closed until early Monday morning while crews cleared the wreckage. A man is recovering after being stabbed multiple times during a fight in Wilkes-Barre over the weekend. Police say it happened early Saturday morning just before 7 a.m. on South Main Street in Wilkes-Barre. Investigators say the 35-year-old victim had just left a business in the 300 block when he saw an acquaintance being attacked by 3 men. When he stepped in to help, one of the suspects stabbed him several times in the torso. Despite his injuries, police say the man managed to make it back home. A family member later took him to the hospital, where doctors treated him for non-life-threatening wounds. So far, no arrests have been made. Police are continuing to investigate. Please contact Wilkes-Barre City Police if you have any information.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for being here as we approach the Labor Day holiday, one of the busiest travel weekends of the year.
When you are traveling for the upcoming Labor Day holiday, Pennsylvania State Troopers and the Department of Transportation want you to drive responsibly on our roadways. Officials gathered yesterday to remind drivers about their National Crackdown on Impaired Driving Enforcement program running from now until September 1st. State and local police agencies will be conducting impaired driving checkpoints and educating the public in the hope that it will reduce the number of impaired driving-related crashes, injuries, and deaths throughout Pennsylvania. During the 2024 Labor Day weekend, there were 133 alcohol and drug-related crashes reported from Friday through Monday. Those resulted in 7 deaths and 87 injuries. Pennsylvania State Representative Jamie Walsh was in Drums this afternoon to host a town hall on school property taxes. He is co-sponsoring House Bill 1649 that he says would eliminate school property taxes across the Commonwealth. Constituents gathered at Beach Mountain Lakes to hear his proposal and share their thoughts on how it would affect their personal incomes and area schools. To see how the House bill could change the amount you owe in taxes, you can visit the website noprop.tax/the-plan/estimate-taxes. The Berwick Area School Board has introduced 2 new policies that would regulate how transgender students are identified and which bathrooms they can use. Policy 216.2 would require students to be registered under their legal name and sex assigned at birth. Any changes to a student's name or gender identity would need to be requested in writing by a parent or guardian. Teachers are not required to use a student's preferred name or pronouns if they object, but they may choose neutral alternatives such as using last names. Policy 719 addresses bathroom and locker room use, mandating that students use facilities based on their sex assigned at birth. Transgender students that do not wish to do so would have to use single-stall bathrooms. The school board approved the introduction of both policies, with the final vote expected at its next meeting. The Pennsylvania State Police want you to find the bear that helps prevent wildfires. The Bear Creek Volunteer Fire Company had their Smokey the Bear sign stolen from the front of their building sometime on Monday. They say the wooden support posts that held the sign were cut. Anyone that spots Smokey or has information on the sign's whereabouts is asked to call the Wilkes-Barre State Police Division at 570-821-4110. Police in Piston Township are searching for the suspect behind a daylight robbery at a local convenience store. Investigators say it happened Wednesday afternoon, August 20th, just after 2 p.m. at a convenience store on Laurel Street in Piston Township. According to police, the suspect walked in, handed the clerk a note, and demanded cash. Authorities have released surveillance photos of the individual they believe is responsible. Detectives are now asking the public for help in identifying that person. Anyone who recognizes the suspect or has information that could assist in the investigation is urged to call Piston Township Police at 570-655-6350 or dial 911. The Wyoming Valley Challenger baseball team is heading to Williamsport for the 2025 Little League World Series for an exhibition game this Saturday. The Challenger team is a team of players with intellectual and physical disabilities, usually with an age range from 4 to 18 years old. Prior to leaving, the Shavertown Volunteer Fire Company provided ice cream and hosted a Touch a Truck event for the team and their families. While some players are excited to get the opportunity to play, Coach Beth Qualter said that some players are also nervous to play in front of a larger crowd than what they are used to. The Wyoming Valley Challenger Little League team, also known as the Badgers, will compete in the 2025 exhibition game against the Challenger team from Warburn, Massachusetts. The game will take place on August 23rd at 10:30 a.m. at Volunteer Stadium in Williamsport. Coming up on WYLN News, we check in with PA State Representative Dane Watrow on Watrow's Weekly Update. Plus, WYLN historian Chris Fulmer leads us down the path through history with Muncie Part 4. And stay right here in WYLN. We'll be right back.
WYLN News brought to you by Lehigh Valley Hospital, Hazelton's emergency room team. Your experts in any emergency. When emergencies happen, minutes and expertise count. Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazelton is now part of Jefferson Health. We want your child to be our WYLN Weather Kid. Your child can be our feature weather reporter of the day on WYLN News and WYLN social media posts just by using your smartphone or any video recording device. It's easy. All ages are welcome, from toddlers to teens. To find out how, go to the weather section of WYLNTV.com or look for our post about it on the WYLN News Facebook page. Submit your Weather Kid video today. If you're looking for an affordable pre-owned car or truck, Cheers Auto Sales has a great lineup of clean, dependable, and quality vehicles. Stop in at 610 North Broad Street in West Hazelton, 570-454-7229. Cheers is proud to be celebrating 70 years in business. Come shoot at Whitetail Preserve, 118 Boulevard Road in Bloomsburg. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicap accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 or 570-790-8969. WYLN programming is online all the time. Visit our website at WYLNTV.com to check out archive shows and a live stream of our broadcasts. And don't forget to visit all of our social media pages for breaking news, weather, and sports. You can also head directly to our YouTube page for all our programming at youtube.com/WYLNTV35. Subscribe and ring that bell so you get notified every time there's a new show available online.
PPW Nation, get ready for the best of PPW Season 2. Join Paul Bowe, E. Julius Kuiper, Alexander Bravado, Tom Mitchell, and Alex Watt as we take you down memory lane and relive some of the best PPW matches of all time. Saturdays at 5 p.m., Sundays at 10 p.m., only on WYLN.
Do you like craft beer? Do you want to learn the right way to sample wine? How about checking out a restaurant with a unique flavor or a crazy food challenge? These are just some of the things we are featuring on Wine, Hops, and Road Stops. So, spend some time learning about great wine, great beer, and great food on WYLN TV 35.
Hi, I'm State Representative Dane Watrow of the 116th Legislative District. I'm grateful to be your voice in the state capitol. And one of the things I've been working on is my bill, House Bill 17. which would make sure all kids learn how to write cursive. People talk a lot about how school has changed. Some kids aren't doing as well on tests, and it can be harder to get ready for jobs or life after school. My bill won't fix everything, but I believe learning cursive in school is still important. Writing in cursive helps your brain remember things better and can make your hands stronger and more skilled. A lot of old letters and historic documents are written in cursive, so if you know how to read it, you can learn more about the past. Cursive is also still used today when you sign your name on important things like checks and legal papers. House Bill 17 is about giving students another way to learn, express themselves, and do well in school and life. My bill was recently moved out of committee, and I'll keep working to get it to the governor. If you want to follow my bill, you can check it out on the Pennsylvania General Assembly website. I'll also be sharing updates on my social media and in my weekly roundup emails. Thanks for listening.
This week on Let's Talk Chiropractic, Kayla Pupko is going to tell her story of how chiropractic allows her to make your face look more beautiful.
Are you sitting at home living in pain? Maybe it's in your hands, maybe your back or your hips. The good news is you don't need to live in pain. Why? Because there is Omega XL, a one-of-a-kind, natural, powerful joint relief supplement created from the green lip mussels of New Zealand. Drug-free, non-habit forming. It's small, easy to swallow, and it's backed by more than 40 years of clinical research. As I was getting older, my joints started to feel that wear and tear. But then I tried Omega XL and it changed my life. If you're experiencing daily aches and pains due to aging and overuse, try Omega XL and see the difference it can make in your life.
Buy one, get two free. 2 bottles of Omega XL plus Vitamin XL D3, a value of more than $85. Call today and you pay only $39.95. Plus, you have nothing to lose because it's backed by our 60-day money-back guarantee. Call now.
Something is out there. What it is, no one knows. However, since its first sighting, there have been numerous reports of strange lights in the night sky. Some say they are extraterrestrials, flying saucers. But to all of those seemingly unrelated uncertainties, there is one common thread.
Watch Solo Spaceman on Wyln Thursdays at 1:30, Saturdays at 7, and Sundays at 4:30. A Path Through History is sponsored by the Old Jail Museum, 128 West Broad Street in Jim Thorpe. Call 570-325-5259 or visit them online at theoldjailmuseum.com.
Life returned to normal in Muncie in the years following the last raft tragedy. Moviegoers in the area would get their own drive-in theater with the opening of the Starlight Drive-In in June 1949. Located on what was then Route 220 between Muncie and Halls, and it's space for 720 cars. The Starlight Drive-In operated until about 1975, although it would remain standing for several years afterwards until it was finally torn down in 1993. One constant over the years was, and continues to be, the Muncie Indians' rivalry with the Montgomery Red Raiders on the football field. In 1961, Muncie Athletic Director Dick Dietz was approached by the school board about creating a trophy for the rivalry game. As it was, Dietz was soon thereafter cleaning out the football team's equipment after the season with physical education teacher George Sowers. Almost mockingly, Dietz held up a random cleat from a pile of equipment and asked if it would make a decent trophy. "You know something? That's a good idea," an interested Sowers told him. The cleat was bronzed by the Muncie JCs, and in the years since, Muncie and Montgomery have played annually for the Old Shoe Trophy. Originally, the trophy was presented with the understanding that if a school won the annual game 5 years in a row, they would keep it permanently. When Montgomery accomplished this in 1974, however, the team voted to keep the trophy in play, and thus the Old Shoe Trophy has remained in play to the present. For Muncie's baseball fans, one of their own would give them good reason to cheer throughout the 1970s. Ed Ott, of no relation to Hall of Famer Mel Ott, was born in Muncie in 1951. Although Muncie High did not have a baseball team at that time, he was the third baseman on local American Legion teams throughout the summer months. Ott would be signed out of high school by the Pittsburgh Pirates in 1970. After 4 years in the minors as an outfielder, he made his major league debut on June 10, 1974. He returned to the minors by the end of the season, after which the Pirates asked him to convert to a catcher. Initially resistant, Ott ultimately agreed to the change on the grounds that it would allow him to get back to the majors more quickly. He would return to the big leagues full-time as a catcher on September 16, 1975. Ott would alternate as the Pirates catcher for the next 5 years. His most memorable moment, however, would come on the base pads against the New York Mets on August 12, 1977. Ott slid hard into second base to break up a double play attempt by Mets second baseman Felix Millan, prompting a furious Millan to bash Ott in the face with a baseball. Ott, who had been a wrestler in high school, responded by picking Millan up and body slamming him, shattering Millan's collarbone and ultimately ending his career shortly thereafter. Ott would be ejected from the game, but his teammates stood by him, declaring that Millan had been more at fault. Ott would win the World Series with the Pirates in 1979, batting .333 with 3 RBIs during the series. He would be traded to the then California Angels in 1981 and played 1 season in Anaheim before retiring. Ott then entered coaching, serving 5 years as the Houston Astros first base coach under Art Howe, as manager of the Northeast League's Allentown Ambassadors for much of the team's existence, and 2 years as a coach with the Detroit Tigers. Ed Ott died in 2024. As the 20th century progressed, shopping trends changed as businesses moved out of downtowns and into malls and shopping centers. One product of this in the Muncie area was the Lycoming Mall, which opened outside town on July 18, 1978. Hess's and GB's were the mall's original anchors. They would be joined by Woolworth's in October 1978 and the external Riverside Market in December of that year. Among the other opening day stores in the mall were Deb, Endicott Johnson, KB Toys, K Jewelers, Ray and Derrick Drugstore, and Walden Books. The mall's trademark structure, its Hadani Arch, was dedicated in December 1978 as well. Named for its designer, Israel Hadani, it appears to have a different shape depending on the angle one looks at it from. The Lycoming Mall would add Dysroth's department store in 1979, and Bon-Ton JCPenney moved in during the 1980s. A United Artists Theater, Arcade, and Carousel also operated the mall over the years. Shopping habits changed again in the early 21st century, with more consumers switching to online shopping. Malls everywhere started declining, and the Lycoming Mall was no exception, losing much of its tenants in the 2010s. The overall mall closed for good in February 2023. The last remaining tenant on site, Burlington Coat Factory, shut down in early 2025, ending nearly 50 years of commerce on the site.
SJ Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond Contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Rinnai, and trained comfort specialists, call SJ Kowalski at 570-455-2600. Hey, did you know WYLN posts news stories and other bonus content on social media all week long. The Weather Kids, Fresh from the Farm, Everyday Heroes, Let's Talk Sports, Feel Good Friday, daily news stories, and more. Visit WYLNTV.com, Facebook, and YouTube to check it out. WYLN, the local leader on social media. We're your local network.
WYLN TV 35 is expanding and is on the hunt for a dynamic salesperson to join our vibrant team. If you've got the passion and the drive, we want to hear from you. Send your resume to the email displayed on your screen. Don't miss this great opportunity.
Come shoot at Whitetail Preserve, 118 Boulevard Road in Bloomsburg. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicap accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 or 570-790-8969. Attention WYLN viewers, WYLN TV can now be seen on the Hazelton Service Electric Cablevision HD tier, channel 507, and over the air at 35.1. WYLN, we're your local network.
Hello, I'm WYLN historian Chris Fulmer. Pennsylvania's communities are filled with interesting history. Come with me as we discover the people, events, industries, and other historic facets of local towns.
You're watching WYLN TV 35.